Hello, and welcome to our course on communicating effectively using the POETIC framework. Thanks for taking the time to watch this promotional video. I believe we all know why communication is important. It's something we do on a daily basis, so it's a skill we use often. How we are perceived by others is based on our communication with them, so it projects the view of who we are. And how we communicate determines whether we get into that great school, succeed in that key job interview, win over a customer, get that raise, or whether our children and students are learning what we tell them. For these reasons and more, we know communicating effectively is so very critical to our lives. But a major problem in communication is doing it effectively and efficiently. It's such a hard problem. We all know one side of it very well, the listening side. Most of us know how boring it can be sitting in lectures, how disconnected you can feel. And in meetings and briefings we attend for work, just look around and you can see how many people are checking their phones, sending emails, sending texts. We spend so much of our lives in meeting rooms and classrooms, but are we getting what we need out of it? On the other side, presenting in an engaging way can be such a challenge. If you're new to teaching or giving presentations, most of the time you just want to get through it without appearing incompetent. Your aim isn't necessarily to give a brilliant talk, but to complete it without appearing like a fool. So what will this course teach you in the realm of communication and solving these issues? Let me start by telling you what it won't teach you. It's not a course about body language, tone, or appearance. It's not about building great PowerPoint decks. This course will teach you about the structural components you need in your presentation and provide methods in how to convey your message effectively to your audience. We'll do this by going over the POETIC framework. It's 6 overall areas and the roughly 30 subcomponents that we'll go over in detail that you can draw from in order to create your discussions. Please feel free to take a look at the curriculum. I highly encourage you to do so, and you'll see precisely what all those components are. The takeaway from this overall course is that you'll be able to have a template or checklist that you can refer to for all of your presentations and discussions to ensure that you consistently deliver value to your audience in that engaging and effective way. Who's this course for? Well, it's going to provide maximum impact for those who are getting started in presenting. If you're new to a role that has formal presentations as a core component, maybe you're going into sales or consulting or marketing or teaching, any career for that matter that forces you to give structured discussions. It's also good for those who feel like they struggle with their presentations, especially putting them together. If you're a veteran, I do think that you will get something out of this course that maybe you didn't or consistently provide in your presentations before. Because here's the thing about presenting. We often forget the components that make us successful. Just like I need to follow the same recipe to make my family's favorite dish, even though I've been making it for years. Even seasoned speakers need to follow a template for sustained success. It's not that much different from a diet or an exercise plan to keep you performing consistently. Who am I? Well, I used to be someone who was very shy, absolutely hated public speaking and presenting in general. But now I've had a career in technology, consulting, and sales for over a decade. I've honed these skills, and now it's been one of my defining strengths in my career. It's my daily job to provide briefings to my customers, and I also work with my company's trainers and internal learning specialists to structure educational content for my colleagues. I built this framework, the one we'll be discussing in this class, to help capture the best practices that I've learned throughout my career for some of the top salesmen and saleswomen and consultants in the world. I've also taken best practices from the professors I've taken through completion of 2 graduate degrees at 2 different top 15 universities. I've brought these elements together to create this framework. Communication isn't just an area that I work in every day, but it's a passion of mine because I truly believe communicating knowledge is the most important thing we do as a general society and as a species. I want you to take away from this course a new view of how you look at the way others present to you and how you present to your own listeners. I want you to come away from this class with a reference in your hand, the POETIC framework, that you can always turn to for consistent results that enrich your audience. I'm Mohibul Nahar, and I hope you'll join me on this journey so that we can learn from each other to transform how we all communicate and convey knowledge.